Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Tarot, and I'm back for another tarot reading for beginners, okay? So please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified of when I upload and when I go live. And if you would like to book a private reading, all you have to do is go into my description box. Everything I say here is all alleged and for entertainment only until modern science can prove with a mathematical equation that the metaphysical science is, in fact, a valid form of science, and all tools of divination are actual factual tools of science, right? And that includes tarot cards, oracle cards, anything that's used for divination. So today, for our tarot for beginners, we're going to talk about the celebrity Eazy. He is the late great rapper. He was part of NWA. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But pretty much, he was very famous and he succumbed to HIV/AIDS. And since then, it's been a lot of conspiracy that he was in fact unalived and someone shot him with a needle or things like that. Right? So that's the questions. Those two are the questions that we're going to ask today. How did Eazy get HIV/AIDS? Was he unalived? Okay. So what we're going to need today is that we're going to need a pen. We're going to need our tarot journal. We're going to need our tarot cards for beginners. And if you watched my video on do-it-yourself tarot cards for beginners, you know how to create your own tarot deck. Or if you wanted to buy a tarot deck, you know how to make like a cheat sheet behind it with the keywords and description and things like that. For those who are spiritually inclined and feel like you want extra things such as sage, Palo Santos, crystals, candles, you're going to have that too. Okay, so while we're at it, you need to know how to recharge your tarot deck with the crystal if you're going to use crystals, right? So the best way to recharge your tarot deck is under the light of a full moon. You can use a full moon or a dark moon. One is for really, really good magic. The other one is for intuition, right? Spread out the deck on top of a cloth in the windowsill. Place the deck's crystal on top of your deck and leave them out overnight to soak up the energy, okay? And then also, you're going to smudge your space before, during, and after your readings. You can use sage or Palo Santos. The first thing you want to do is open up your doors and your windows of your house or your apartment, your living dwelling, because you don't want to cough. The second thing you want to do is light your smudge stick, and then you're going to smudge your item in space by wafting the smoke around it while focusing on cleansing and renewal setting your intentions. The fourth thing you want to do is extinguish the smudge stick. And then last but not least, you can use a bell or make a chiming noise by carefully like clicking a spoon against a glass, right? And then you're going to think about your candles. Your candles, you can light while doing your readings. So different candles stand for different things. Colors stand for different things, and it's for different intentions. So you pick out the candle that you want for your certain intentions. Like some people want some stuff for grounding and protection and healing and cleansing the energy and stuff like that. So you're going to pick out different candles for that. And hopefully I get someone on a special guest on my channel, and we can actually go over candles and things like that, right? And the last thing you're going to need is your tarot journal, okay? So your tarot journal is near and dear to you as a beginner, right? So creating your own tarot journal helps you keep a record of your readings. It helps you strengthen your tarot skills, allow you to see your growth as a reader, and you can see how accurate your reading was. Okay, so this is my example of a tarot journal, and because I wanted to show me, I wanted to design and be creative on the front. Creativity is next to, spirituality. You gotta tap into your inner child. So the next one we're going to do is, this is what your space will look like, right? Your ideal space. It doesn't have to necessarily look like this per se, But, normally you have your tarot, cloth in your space. You surrounded it by your candles and stuff, whatever colors that you was going to choose for your intentions. And what you're going to do is you're going to light your candles for the protection and to clear the energy. Then you're going to clear your space by smudging with Palo Santos or sage, right? So you're clearing your space and getting ready for your reading. And some people like to basically pray before they're reading. And they also like to use like Florida water or holy water to cleanse their hands in the space, right? All right, so while we're doing this, now we're in the shuffling mode, right? So you're going to shuffle with your intentions, and you're going to pretty much set the intention of how many cards you want to pull out and get your question out there, right? So I intended on 4 cards. So I shuffled real good and thought about everything, thought about my question, focused on my attention, and this is what I got for this question. It was the Judgment card, the 9 of Swords reverse, the 6 of Swords reverse, and the Temperance in the reverse, right? So this is how it's going to look. Okay, this is how it should look when you spread it out on your table in your space. Excuse the noise because my husband let out the dog, right? But look, that's how it's going to look. So let's get into it. So the first card we pulled, and this is going to be different because it's not a 3-card pull, and we're just pulling out energies, right? So the first card we pulled was the Judgment card upright. All right, so the keywords on the back of this will be like awakening, decision-making, redemption, reincarnation, renewal, transition. This card is referred to as a time of resurrection and awakening, a time when the period of your life comes to an absolute end, making way for a more dynamic beginning. So usually this is like, for me, and it actually really is a major arcana card. So it's an important spiritual lesson. So this for me is closing a chapter to begin a new cycle, right? So this is the first thing that comes out. And when we look at this card, we look at this person that's inside this graveyard, and they're holding on to a baby or a child, right? And it looked like people have been resurrected, and they're hanging around. They're all crowding around this woman. So it's more so like the end of days, right? Final judgment. And this has happened after a long cycle, right? You've learned your lessons, and you're ready to pretty much face judgment, final judgment, and put it all to rest. So for him to get that as the first card, that lets me know some things about what's going on with him. I do believe that he did not have the best childhood, right? I feel like he went through things. And I do feel like the fact that, he ended up being famous and ended up having money and things like that, I think that was the transition from one way of being to the next, right? So it was absolute endings about that part of his life. But that part of his life is really important, right? And then you got to see the zodiac sign for this. This is a Scorpio. This is Scorpio energy. And Scorpio is a water sign, right? So then we're going to think about it, right? So we're going to get our tarot journal. And I did this. We're going to put the, tarot reading. We're going to put the time and the date. I did this on the 28th of January. I did this reading. And I did this at 5:54 p.m. And it was a 4-card pull. How did Eazy get AIDS? And pretty much all 4 cards I put down. And for the first card, because I'm looking at everything about this card and what it's making me feel with the illustrations and what I'm intuitively picking up, I put the Judgment card as the first card that came out. It's all about coming to an end of a developmental cycle. Your life tends to move into a different positive direction. In the health reading, it shows that he, in some ways, had been more consistent, because in the health reading, the Judgment card talks about you being more consistent, leading to favorable outcomes, okay? So I put that down there. And then I said, this card makes me feel like he was not brought up in the best environment, and he was not taught properly or had a responsible mindset about reproductive health growing up. That's what it really makes me feel like. But however, he learned on his own. And also his life changed for the better, and he was pushed into a celebrity lifestyle. Now, when I mean learned on his own, you know what I mean by sex, right? Usually, us in certain environments, we don't really like get the real sit down about what sex is, sex health, and what to really do and how to really protect yourself from STDs and stuff. Most of the time in the 90s and the 80s and stuff like that, these guys who was in the street was not all the way focused on safe sex, okay? So he kind of learned as in like trial and error. And that's what I'm getting from the judgment card, okay? So then we have the next card. The second card that was drawn was the Nine of Swords in the reverse. And this is a health reading, okay? So the key words is going to talk about distrust, suspicion, despair, misery or malice, paranoia, overthinking, anxiety, and relief. It shows that you are experiencing deep inner turmoil as a result of your mindset. Your negative thoughts are taking you in a downward spiral of despair and anxiety that contradicts reality. You are making things feel much worse than they really are. It can also bend all those negative aspects of the upright position are resolved, and it becomes a symbol of hope and peace moving forward. As in, like, sometimes you may be overthinking, right? You might be a little paranoid, right? So why would someone be overthinking about their sexual health, right? Think about it. So if I'm brought up with a certain type of mindset, right? You know what I just said, and I'm dealing with the opposite sex and I'm having sex. It may not be protected. It may be protected or may not protected or may not be protected. So to me, if I'm overthinking and have anxiety about certain things, I feel like he had a health scare before. I feel like someone probably told him he needed to be checked out before. That's what I feel like, right? So that's how that makes me feel. So when I look at this, I know that it's a Gemini, it's a mutable sign, and it's a sword, right? So you guys already know 8, 9, and 10 of the minor arcana of swords is a Gemini. And Geminis can be all in their head. I'm a Gemini, right? And we're looking at every aspect of everything. And when we're in our head, we really are in our head. And anxiety really can take over. So what I did for the Nine of Swords in the reverse is the second card pulled. The Nine of Swords reverse speaks about mental relief. You may have been overthinking or having anxiety about a situation but everything turns out okay. In the health reading about HIV/AIDS, this makes me think that he had a reproductive health scare before, and he took a test before for HIV and it was negative. I also believe he would go to get checked out if he felt discomfort, or a sexual partner may have told him to go, but he was not the type to practice safe sex and had multiple partners, because why else would you have anxiety about sexual health, right? So, and you're practicing and you're actively having sex and you're having anxiety about certain things that you don't. That means you're taking risk. So, but I don't think he had it though. I think that, he had anxieties about it. He went and got checked out. It's certain things that he didn't have, so he would keep it moving. And I am actually like pretty much, yeah. The Six of Swords. He kept it moving. The Six of Swords talks about a transition, a change, a rite of passage, releasing baggage, internet communication, right? So for me, this talks about a gradual change, movement, or travel away from difficulty or imminent danger. The resolution of a current problem, a long journey and passage from pain or obstacles which are overcome. Also an internet card because it is traveling communication. Okay, so that's going to be on the back of your Six of Swords Tarot for Beginners deck, right? For that card. So pretty much I think that what he would do is that, because because it all comes back to childhood, right? That previous cycle. Then he ended up being the cycle of being rich and famous. And, he had all the things that he wanted to have. He can get any girl he wants to have. So now he's having sex, but he's not necessarily practicing the best safe sex. So he's had health scares. But however, it came back negative and he kept it moving. That's what it felt like. And that's Aquarius energy, But that's how it looks. It's going from a place of chaos to a place of peace. And I'm moving on because I got 2 questions, right? So I'm trying to go fast with it, right? We already been here for like 15 minutes. But the modality for the Aquarius sign is fixed, right? And then the Swords suit, Aquarius is going to be 5, 6, and 7. So this is him going from a place of chaos to a place of peace, mental peace, right? So what I put for the third card was the Six of Swords is the third card pulled. The Six of Swords speaks about leaving a difficult situation to a more peaceful situation. I feel like he moved on after having a reproductive health scare and kept doing whatever he wanted to do with his life. That's how I felt. So then the next card I pulled was the 4th card, and this is a very telling overall card. This is what Spirit is really saying. Okay, so what I am getting from this is the keywords in the reverse, the Temperance, because it's all about balance and things like that. It's a Sagittarius. In the reverse, it talks about disharmony, imbalance, lack of patience, onset of illness, hedonistic behavior, and gluttony. It indicates an imbalance, discord, and impatience. You might be going through a period of excess in various aspects of your life, such as overindulging in food, sex, alcohol, or spending. It's a warning sign to regain equilibrium and adjust your actions. So he was out here. Okay, that's how it makes me feel. And it's a Sagittarius card. So if I go back, this is what you need to know about the Temperance in the reverse. These are people who do things because it makes them feel good. They don't care about nobody else, or they don't care about the repercussions down the line. Okay, they're out of order. They're out of balance. They're very hedonistic. These are people who will cheat on their spouse, or they will sleep with their friend's girlfriend. These are people who are very much into overindulgence, okay? And I mean, they're not just sleeping with one person. I'm talking about how did he get HIV. That's exactly how he got HIV, okay? They're one of those people. That's a Sagittarius energy, right? And then the standard Rider Waite Tarot, it looks like that, okay? So let's go ahead. That's a fire energy. That's a lot of passion, right, in the reverse. So then let's go to the next. So the 4th card, all right, is the Temperance card in the reverse. It was the 4th card pulled. And it's a clear sign that there is an imbalance in certain aspects of your life, which can negatively impact your health. This card also can suggest hedonistic behaviors. Eazy was allegedly someone who could be overindulgent without any thought or concern about how it could affect them down the road. This is a person who would most likely practice unprotected sex because it's all about what they want at the moment. Because this is a glutton card, there will be consequences to this behavior down the line. Okay, so then I got to tell you my answer to the first question. So the answer to the question of how did Eazy get HIV/AIDS based on the cards pulled, I believe he got HIV due to his own behaviors. He grew up not having a healthy attitude about sex, and he has had reproductive health scares before. It only made it worse when he became famous and gained access to an unlimited amount of drugs, alcohol, and women. Eazy was someone who could be overindulgent without any thought or concern about how it could affect him down the road. I think due to him not practicing safe sex and not being cautious about his sexual partners, he was eventually diagnosed with HIV. And guess what? Also, when it comes to the Temperance in the reverse, and this is why I put this, is that they can be diagnosed with something, but they're in the thralls of being a gluttonous person, right? So I put he was eventually diagnosed with HIV, and instead of taking the necessary steps, he acted like he didn't have it. So this is someone who will be diagnosed with a disease, a sexual transmitted disease or HIV or virus, whatever, and still have sex the same day. Okay. So that's what I got for that one. So now let's go to the next one. Was Eazy unalived, right? And so basically, this is how it's going to look on your tarot spread. You already did what you had to do. You shuffled. You made your spread. It's a 4-card pull, and this is what you got. So with Eazy unalived, you got the Ace of Swords in the reverse, the Star card. Again, with that hedonistic card, the Temperance in the reverse, that Gluttony card. And then again, you have the Six of Swords upright. So this is kind of peculiar because now it's going to mean a little bit of different than what it meant initially. Because, initially we were talking about health. Now we're talking about did someone get unalived, right? So the first card was the Ace of Swords. Now, the Ace of Swords is usually the first card of the suit swords, right? And usually it has all the energy in it. It has all 3 signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And it's supposed to be a new thought process, a new communication, clear thought, things like that, right? And there would be a yes card in the upright, but in the reverse, it is not a yes card, right? And that's something you need to realize, especially if you're not formatting from past, present, and future, nothing like that. You're just drawing cards. Most of the time, the first card is the strongest card. And if the strongest card is in the reverse, and I'm asking a yes or no question, that's the first energy, and it says no. It says a lot of things about that question, right? So it's going to be clouded judgment, lies, argumentative, repressed ideas, things like that will be the keywords, right? And a little bit of a synopsis or a description about the card that's going to be on the back of your beginner tarot deck. It could indicate that one's thoughts are jumbled, uncertain, and extremely chaotic. Making decisions at this time will be unwise because you aren't sure what you should be doing, and there's a good probability that you will make a mistake. Also, it's a card for argumentative and manipulative communication. Okay, that's it. So then that it's an air sign. It's all about communication and thought processes. Okay, so the first card that comes out, it talks about some manipulative communication, argumentative communication. Is not really the onset of a new idea or anything like that, and it's a no card, right? It's giving that energy. So then I'm going to do this. So then I'm going to flip my paper over in my tarot journal and I'm going to ask this question. And I did this the same day I did the first question. And it's going to be dated and it's going to be timed. It's a 4-card pull. I already put my title was Eazy Unalive, and I already pulled out my cards. I said what cards that I got for this reading, and the first card I put was the Ace of Swords reverse. Was the first card pulled. The Ace of Swords reverse as a person represents someone who is struggling with clear thinking, potentially misusing their intellect or being dishonest. They might grapple with mental clarity, leading to behaviors that can be misleading and manipulative. The individual's intellectual approach is often troubled, and they may have difficulty maintaining honest and straightforward communication. This card speaks of being too aggressive or heavy-handed in communication, can speak of burning bridges that you may have to cross later, and you may need to calm down. The Ace of Swords reversed for a yes/no question means no. This card immediately makes me feel like the story of him being unalive is deceptive and is being pushed as an alternative fact, right? So that's what I put for that first card. The second card, right, is the Star card. Very auspicious Aquarius energy, wish fulfillment card, right? Very beautiful card to have, right? So it's not going to be in the reverse. It's upright. I accidentally put reverse, not upright. And it's going to be astronomy, good health. Astronomy because the star is up there, right? It's talking about the sky, the night sky, right? Good health, hope, inspiration, opportunity, spirituality, because you're wishing and you're hoping and you're praying, right? In a wish fulfillment, when the Star card appears, you are likely to find yourself feeling inspired. It brings renewed hope and faith in the sense that you are truly blessed by the universe at this time, right? And I told you it's an Aquarius sign, right? It's all, but see, Aquarius is like communication, but it's also they consider Aquarius energy as the wind that brings the water, right? For some reason. But y'all let me know about that in the comment section, y'all. But look, so I put the star card upright was the second card pulled. The star can represent someone who works as an artist, a healer, or inspirational figure in any field where they can spread hope and positivity. They thrive in professions that allow them to express their creativity, to heal and uplift others. Now listen to that. And to share their vision of hope and renewal. The star represents a celebrity, right? Because the star in itself, like a celebrity star, Eazy was in fact a celebrity. Okay. Because the star is distant, but can be viewed by all, peep this. The star is distant, right? It's a distant star, but guess what? It's viewed by everybody on the planet, right? The star card can also represent people with an audience, such as bloggers and vloggers, the internet, right? So if it's on YouTube, it's content creators, vloggers. If it can be the shade room, whatever the case may be. Any type of platform, social network platform, whatever, it would be considered that. The star is also a wish fulfillment card. This card represents someone praying and having hope that what they want will happen, or what they have been feeling was right. That means that sometimes, this is a multifaceted card now. Because see, we got to go back, because now I got to go back and show y'all what I mean by that. So, if you look at this card, there's a star, right? And the person is praying and hoping for this wish fulfillment of what they always knew was right. Think about that star as social media, or a celebrity. You really, really want to hope that you are right about this celebrity, right? Or whatever situation that they're in, right? You're hoping that you're right. But however, you're looking at vloggers and bloggers from afar, and they're talking about Eazy being unalived and how he got HIV/AIDS. You're hoping that whatever they're saying is basically agreeing with how you're feeling, right? That's what it feels like with that star card. So, let's see. Now I'm back. So, I think that people viewed Eazy as a star, and him having HIV/AIDS did not sit well with his fans. It didn't. You got to think about it. I feel like his fans hoped that this murder conspiracy was true, because it was better to think he was murdered instead of him being a victim to a virus that at one point was considered a gay man's disease. People tend to believe vloggers and bloggers. So if they so happen to take a stance that implies Eazy-E was murdered, it validates what people are hoping to be true. Because let's think about it. We got to think about the time frame. We got to think about the HIV/AIDS epidemic and stuff like that, how it was running rampant. And at first, people was afraid. And, they even quarantined early HIV/AIDS patients. They even said it was a gay man's disease, a dirty man's disease, right? They didn't know everything about AIDS. And then, when it comes to our community and stuff, we the way we think sometimes, like, at one point, I guarantee you that, and mind you, also know that Eazy-E was brought up in the era, a certain era. And I'm pretty sure the men that he looked as up to as role models, if he had any, they were not out here talking about practicing absolute safe sex. They were not, right? Not all the time, right? They had a different attitude. And then not only that, when they heard about HIV/AIDS, they probably believed all the rumors about it more than the actual information. And I think that's what happens to us, unfortunately. We don't really look up the information. We believe the rumors and the conspiracy before we actually look at the valid information that's actually out there if we go and look it up, right? So I think that's what happened. So you got these people that really love Eazy-E. And, wow, AIDS, it solidifies that HIV and AIDS is real and anybody can get it. And it hits home to see someone that you look up to as a star, succumb to AIDS. That's crazy, right? So that's why I'm feeling that way. All right, so then you have the Temperance card in the reverse again, right? And we already know it's Sagittarius energy, and it's talking about disharmony, imbalance, lack of patience, onset of illness, hedonistic behavior, and gluttony, right? And I already told you that's going to be on the back of your tarot card for beginners, right? That's that cheat sheet. So it indicates imbalance, discord, impatience. You might be going through a period of excess in various aspects of your life, such as overindulging in food, sex, alcohol, or spending, what have you. It's a warning sign to regain equilibrium and adjust your actions, right? And I told you it's a Sagittarius energy, right? So when I'm thinking about this card, in the reverse, it's a clear sign that there is an imbalance in certain aspects, okay? And it talks about, it can really negatively impact your well-being. And because this is a gluttony card, there will be consequences to this behavior down the line. It speaks on being able to manipulate. And then also, that's what I also meant to let y'all know. You do know. Now, this is when you can read your tarot card. I mean, you're supposed to be reading the illustrations and seeing what these cards are telling you anyway, right? So this card represents someone who could be manipulated. Their mood can be changed, right? And so this is a good card to have for somebody who believes in a conspiracy, who could believe that this happened or this happened. And depending on how this person, because you see this person at the bar, it's the bartender talking to the patron, right? And it seemed like the patron could ask for advice or ask about how they think about said topics. And that bartender can really be saying could be saying some stuff, and the person listening to them could feel like they're saying some cool mess, right? But the whole time you're drinking the liquor, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, and it's altering your mood and perception. So these are people who can have that situation go on with them, right? So that's why I put that. All right. Yeah. So I think this represents people who can easily be influenced with conspiracy or salacious gossip because they overindulge in it, right? And like I said, represents people who could be easily influenced by conspiracy and things like that. So then you got the fourth card. Now this is where this gets fun, right? Because the meanings do fluctuate based on the question, right? So then we talk about the upright. This is upright. It's not reverse. It talks about a transition, rite of passage, releasing baggage, internet communication. The Six of Swords. It's all about communication, how we think, right? And it's a gradual change. It's movement, travel away from a difficult or imminent danger, the solution of a current problem. Is a long journey in the passage from pain or obstacles which are overcome. Also an internet card because it's talking about traveling communication. Because the swords are what? Communication and how we think. And technically, the Six of Swords is going from one place to another. So this is communication from a distance, okay? Traveling communication and communication from a distance. So when we think about traveling communication, what type of communication travels? Like messages, gossip, things like that. Also, communication on social media as well. So now we're going to think about the fourth card. So what we're going to say is that, look, it, of course, is an Aquarius energy. And we're going to say the Six of Swords was the fourth card pull. The Six of Swords speaks about distant communication. This is a narrative that was initially gossip and grew legs on to the internet for mass consumption. So that's what I put for that. Right? And so then my answer to the question about if Eazy-E was unalived, I put no, he was not. I think that Eazy-E was allegedly irresponsible about his sexual health and was hedonistic. Around the time period, HIV/AIDS was really a huge thing, taking many lives. At some point, it was even considered a gay man's disease. So, for a young black celebrity gangster rapper to have it was not easily digestible. The community would rather believe that he was somehow murdered instead of the very real truth. I think the blogs, vlogs, and any other creator with a platform push this alternative fact for public consumption. Some viewers are conspiracy minded and can be easily manipulated because they actually want it to be true. Okay. Sometimes people don't want to hear the real fact. And it's sad really because I think of Eazy-E's situation as a testimony after just really getting into everything, and I got to sit on it and think about it. It is a testimony about very real things such as HIV and AIDS and any other ailments and stuff can happen to you. So you have to protect yourself and you have to honor your body, right? And you have to ground yourself and balance yourself out. All right. So what this is going to look like in your tarot journal. You're going to go to your table of contents. And what you're going to do is you're going to go all the way down because we did all of this. We've done Will Beyonce divorce Jay-Z? Will I get a new job soon? Will Mary J. Blige get an Oscar? Was Cat Williams telling the whole truth about being honest in his interview? Are YouTube tarot readers manipulating their readings for views and clients? Real reason for Funky Dineva departure. Then we did the TG. Oh, yeah, we did Tokyo Tony and Black China. We did Big Juke about Young Dolph. And now we on How Did Eazy-E Get HIV/AIDS? Was he unalive? And that's going to take up pages 12, 13, 14, and 15. We did 4 pages, right? So now we're going to flip over to the pages and we're going to see how much we've actually covered. So we've done Beyonce, look. And we did Cat Williams. We did a YouTube reading. And then we did the Funky Dineva Fox Soul. Then we did the Tokyo Tony one. Then we did Big Juke, right? So the last ones are did Eazy-E get HIV? How did he get HIV and AIDS? That's this one. It's going to look like that. And then the next one was Eazy-E Unalive. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys learned some things. I hope you guys are using your tarot journal. It's a great way to really get your readings down packed and to see how accurate you were down the line and things like that. And to really get into being a tarot reader. So again, thank you guys so much. And I'm going to check you guys later. All right. So again, I was DAZZLE.tarot. Like, comment, and subscribe and book your private reading. And thank you.